Today's video is how to set up on-screen and voice alerts for throttle cut. So let's get started. Setting up the on-screen and voice alerts, there is 2 times when the on-screen alert comes up and all the time the voice alert calls out. The 2 times that the on-screen alert comes up is when you back out to the system setup and you come back to the main screen, or you power down the radio next time you turn it on. So basically it's to have your switches in the position that you want when you turn the radio on. This video is to set up the throttle cut. I'm going to use H, which is the back right 2 position switch. We push enter, go down to system setup, go to flight modes. The way you set this up is with the flight mode, and in just a second it will make sense why we do that. So go to switch 1, toggle H, back out of that screen, spoken flight mode. You put the call out that you want on the switch where it says speak. Right now it's going to say F mode 2, F mode 1. Away from us is the F mode 1, that's when the motor's on. Towards us is F mode 2, which the motor is off. So let me scroll back and we'll go ahead and set up motor on because we've got it in flight mode 1. The switch is down. Scroll down to motor on. Now let's flip the switch up. Push enter. I'll put this one on throttle cut. You can label it motor off if you want. Throttle cut. Now we can test it by going down and pushing test and making sure those are the call outs we want.
Throttle cut. Motor on.
Now we've set our audio. Go down to warnings. As I mentioned in this video, we're just setting up the flight mode, which is going to be our throttle cut. We want the warning to be on if the switch is not up. Again, that was flight mode 2, and you can see that there's a dot below 2. So that lets you know where your switch is in case you overlook it or you don't go up there and flip the switch. So we've already done that. We flipped it to off, and that's what we want it to be on when we go to the main menu or when we power the radio up. The other thing that you need to do is go down here and make the number 1 blacked out. What that does is when it's in that position and you turn the radio on or go to the main screen and have the motor on, which is flight mode 1, as you see the dot moves over, then it's going to give you a warning. If you turn the radio on and it's in flight mode 2, you won't have a warning. Let's back up. Let me show y'all how that works. So that time we had it up. I'm going to turn the radio off. I'm going to push our throttle cut down. So now when we turn the radio on, you're going to see a warning on the screen.
Warning, motor on.
And you notice it even says motor on. So I'll flip the switch, it'll go away. Now that we have the on-screen alarm and voice alert set up, you're probably thinking, well, BD, it says flight mode 2 and flight mode 1 on my screen. The menu we were in, spoken flight mode, that's how you rename it. So let's go back in and set that up. You can do this when you're setting up the audio alerts if you want to, or you can set it up after you make sure that everything's working. Go into spoken flight mode. You see that one's the throttle cut. So let's push enter. We're just going to change the name. Also, when I change the name, I leave the letters capitalized. That way when it pops up on the main screen, you have bigger text. we go, throttle cut. Let's put motor on. Something to keep in mind as a tip when you're renaming these, as when I did the throttle cut, you'll notice I deleted out some of the letters. When you push enter, just push the top left button. That will clear out the letter. You don't actually have to go to the blank space in the alphabetical order down here at the bottom. Put on. Now we have motor on. Let's go back to the main menu. Now we have throttle cut and motor on. So let's take a look at how the warning comes up on screen now. Turn the radio off. Leave our motor switch on. Turn the radio back on. Now say flight mode, motor on. Flip the switch, the warning goes away. This also comes on when you go to the system setup. When you go to system setup, you're probably in there changing something, could be flipping switches, doing different things. So when you come back out of that with the motor on, you still get the same warning. Go to throttle cut and then get your plane set up, motor on, you're ready to fly. I hope y'all found this video informative and learned something today. If you did, go ahead and push the like button. If you want to see future videos, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.